Hello and welcome back to this series of instructional videos that I've prepared for you for the Alleviate portal. Previously we've talked about adding staff and suppliers. Today on this video I'm going to actually talk to you about creating your own training programs to suit your individual needs. Once created, these inductions can be assigned to individuals or supplier staff, or even on-site personnel once they arrive. So I'll start by clicking on this icon, and here is a list of, let's call them previous training programs that you've created. But for the purpose of today, I'm actually going to create one from scratch just to show you how this particular area works. So by selecting Add New, you create an induction title name. So you might call it training in construction. Now, with any training program, you're actually able to assign a percentage, pass mark percentage, if you so require. Otherwise, leaving it blank just allows them to complete all the questions that you might assign successfully. Down here where we've got validity allows you to actually assign attributes to these training programs or inductions. And by selecting this, you can either enforce a retake after a particular date. You might have a standard date that all of these inductions, all these training programs expire, or you can select to retake it from completion date, which if you require someone to say complete a particular training program every 12 months or perhaps every 2 years, this is where you actually choose there and you set the time period yourself. So we've created this here and we'll add that to our available list of training programs. Now you'll see it down the bottom here as a hyperlink. So at the moment it has no content, it's just a title or a library tag, for example. Over here to the right hand side you can view the content of that training, or this point here you can actually create training segments. And the training programs are built in modules or sections so that you can actually treat each section in isolation and reorder them if you so wish. Or if you want to edit the title, etc., you can select this one here and you might suddenly say, look, we're going to make it indefinite. It doesn't require any of those attributes, so we can edit and update it here. So if I was to click on that, it would give me no content. You'll see here. And same if I was to view the content. There's currently no content there. So let's start by building a training session. So here we are at a blank screen where we have the ability now to add a new induction or e-learning item. So by clicking that, it now allows you to create sections of your training program. So here you might start with an introduction, and below here you can put any instructions you like, etc. You might have a business website that you would like them to look at. You might have a hyperlink in here. You can also add photos, pictures and movies. So if, for example, we've completed the induction requirements here, we can then add that to our induction. So you'll see now section number 1 is called Introduction, and there are actually no questions assigned here. So for the purpose of exercise, let's say there's a lot of content in this introduction section already, and we want to put a questionnaire at the end of it. So here, you put in the question you want answered, pardon the typing, and And as you said, there are ridiculous sorts of questions and answers here, but just to show you how this would work, you might select option B as your most appropriate answer, and then you would add that to your training. You'll see there it's now been added successfully, and you've got a choice to add additional ones. Again, this allows you to remove those questions there if they're not required either. And let's close this section now. And now you'll see this element of the induction actually has one question associated. So if I was to view that element, you'll see here what the text we put in before. Here is the beginning, and then the question here. And you remember we assigned section B as answer B as the right one, and then you would click submit. So if you think in terms of your training programs, your inductions, etc., this is where you can actually test that the knowledge has gone into the heads of the recipient. The other thing here to remember is these questions are best based at the bottom of the information you've just given them, rather than at the entire end of the training program. And this allows them to scroll up and review the information that had been provided earlier, or watch the information that had been provided earlier, before proceeding to the next question and potentially getting the answer wrong. The purpose of this sort of training and information is to make sure that the learners actually pick up on the information that you're giving them. So if I was to add a next section here, we give it a new title and we call it Construction Training. And in this section here, we would best be suited by providing them with some sort of interactive information. So you may search for, or you may have your own videos which you can upload and store somewhere like a YouTube platform. But for the purpose of this exercise here, here's one I've located earlier, and it's just simply called Construction Site Rules. So once you've decided that that's a piece of information that you would like the personnel on site to receive or undertake, you can go down to the Share tab in YouTube, and it provides you with a set of options here. So what we want to do is take this embed icon here, and a page of code will open up. And you'll see this here. So all you have to do is click on the copy icon. That is then copied to the dashboard, to the clipboard of your computer. You can go back to your portal here, go along your toolbar of options here, and find the Insert Media tab. Look here for the corresponding embed, and you can paste your code that you copied here. Then once you're satisfied, you can click OK. And what that does now is insert that link or that embedded code into your induction or training program as a fully functioning video. And then we'll add that to our available induction. And again, you have the opportunity to add questions based on the information in that video, which we won't do just at the moment, but I'll just show you how this would work physically. If someone's actually proceeding through their induction, they've done the introductory section and they're moving on to construction training, clicking on the View Contents will then take you to that video footage. Now this can be done on someone's phone or handheld device. And you'll see that this video has now appeared. So if someone's doing an induction on their phone or on their desktop, they can then click on this and it will immediately take them to that video that we just inserted into the induction training. Now I don't propose to put you through the entire 2 minutes of this particular video clip, but as you can see, it's highly functional for you to be able to create your own training programs and using the source video that you create yourself, and upload it into this platform. So we're going to pause that now, close that section, and go back to what we see here. So now if we were to go back to our entire Inductions and Learning library of training programs and see this one here and view the content, this is typically how this would be received and reviewed by an individual having to complete this particular training. So they'll receive the training construction tab at the top. They would also have their own name in the top right hand corner because it's associated with them as an individual. Because once successfully completed, they will also receive a certificate in their email saying that they have completed. So here we've selected answer B, we've submitted that, and we go to the next section. The video has now appeared in the next section. So then I can watch the video and then answer any questions below that might be pertinent to that particular section. So once again, I won't await that. But then each of these is customizable for your needs. Depending on what sort of training you wish to provide, it may not necessarily be a site induction. It may just be a particular training aspect in something that's used often as, for example, bullying and harassment in the workplace, or COVID-19 infection control awareness. Now that's quite topical. So you get to create those training programs however you would like to. So I'll show you later on how we actually assign those inductions to individuals or to events and suppliers. But I look forward to the next video.